right, we've talked about opening up data and opening up apps and tools. We also need to open up communications to create awareness and, most importantly, to begin conversations. And we can do that by telling stories using the maps that we make. Story maps are an excellent way to do that. Now, you've already seen lots of examples of those earlier today, and you've probably made a few of your own already. They're really popular, and they're very easy to create. They enable you to combine multimedia, photos, videos, even 3D web scenes with your maps to tell stories. There's many templates that you can choose from, but one of the most popular ones is the one I'm showing here. This is the Map Tour, and this is a map tour about exploring the Rockefeller Foundation Resilient Cities. So we're telling a story about global resilience using these cities, photographs of these cities, and their locations on the map. Now, as I mentioned, the map tour is really popular. There's thousands and thousands of map tours that have been authored, and part of the reason is that they're really easy to author, and we're looking at ways to make that even easier. For example, now we can go right to the apps section on the Story Maps website and build our own map tour. This uses a helper, we call it a builder, that lets you create one easily. I can upload images to my ArcGIS organization. I can grab them from Picasa or Facebook or Flickr, which is where I'll go. I'll type in my Flickr account, and I'll look up a few albums I have there. And it just so happens a couple of weeks ago I was hiking in the John Muir Wilderness, and I'd like to tell a story using those photographs. They're already geotagged, so they've already been located on my map, and by clicking import, a couple of clicks, and I'm already well on my way to creating my own map tour. I can adjust the settings. For example, I can choose a different layout and apply that, add some text, change colors of my icons, and so forth. So very easy to create, and this is why they're so popular. Now, we've just introduced another template. This is the Story Map Journal, and I'm thinking this one will be even more popular than the Map Tour. Now, it's a little more immersive. It allows us to work in different ways with media. For example, here on my main stage, the background isn't a map, it's actually a video. As I advance to another journal entry, here the map is the background, and I've included things like a legend and a little overview map so I can interact with it a little bit. And on this next journal entry, I have a map, and I have another map that I can click to from text that describes it. So this is very powerful ways that we can combine all this together, and it also has a builder experience which lets me do things like change the layout with the click of a button. So because of this, I think we're going to see lots and lots of these appear over the next few weeks and months. Now, going beyond data and tools and apps, what we need to do is open collaboration. So the essence of driving change, of making better decisions, and becoming more resilient is rooted in collaboration. Now, Charles Darwin once said, and I might be paraphrasing a little bit here, he said those species that learn to collaborate most effectively are the ones that have prevailed. And when you apply GIS to that collaboration process, something really powerful happens. You enable deeper understanding and more informed decisions, and you open minds. You open opportunities. Now, I want to share with you a message from our friend Jane Goodall. It's a message about collaboration in the context of conservation and how GIS is a critical component to help us preserve habitats.
Hello, everyone. First, let me say how sorry I am that I can't be with you in person, but I'm on the other side of the world. So let me start with the distance greeting of the wild chimpanzee. Hello, this is me, Jane. I'm really pleased that I've been invited to speak to you at this Esri International User Conference. And it will be exciting because you will be sharing the latest and greatest breakthroughs in mapping technologies. I'm here because, as some of you know, GIS technology has become a major tool for many of us trying to conserve wildlife. When I arrived in Tanzania in 1960 to begin my study of chimpanzees in Gombe National Park, I had a notebook, pen and pencil, and a pair of second-hand binoculars. I didn't even have a map. Today, GIS technology that I couldn't have dreamed of then is helping us to tell the story of Gombe in a new way. It helps us to better understand the threats to the chimpanzees and work out ways to save their habitat. Chimpanzees still face many of the same threats, but I want to explain how we're using GIS technologies and innovations to help reduce those threats by helping to save their habitats. We've been able to help the villagers around Gombe to create land use management plans. These maps help the villagers to better understand their boundaries and the relationship between different areas within these boundaries. We've also trained volunteers from each of the 52 villages where we now work as forest monitors. These images, as you will all understand, result from a huge amount of work. They show changes in the way that local communities manage and relate to their lands. They also demonstrate the impact of effective conservation planning. But most of all, they show the important role that GIS plays in helping all of us understand the true picture, both big and small, of what we're trying to save. JGI is working with Esri to develop new technologies, new tools, and new methods for supporting conservation efforts around the world. And so finally, I would like to ask all of you who care about trying to create a better world for future generations to help us share all this wonderful technology, such as GIS and geodesign, that is so desperately needed for conservation, to share it with non-profits and youth groups all around the world.